Good morning, sweet friends. Listen, you won't believe how many new followers we've gotten. Y'all must be sharing a lot. And those new followers don't know how to make a Southern biscuit yet. So I'm going to go over that one more time. You people that already know how, and you people that have been watching me for a zillion times, if you don't want to watch this, it's okay. Just scroll on. But I'm going to show these new people a few little things, a few little tricks. This flour that I have in here is the self-rising white lily. You want to get the self-rising to do this. I put the whole bag in there and I sifted it with this old-timey sifter right here. I always sift it every morning when I make biscuits. Now, I've got a hunk of grease right here. You can use butter, anything you want, but it's about the size of 2 little chicken eggs, I would say, right there. So I put those in, and today, I don't normally measure my buttermilk, but I am today. I've got 2 cups in here, and I don't know if I'm going to be using it all, but I thought well, let's put in a cup. All right, we're going to pour it in that hole. You saw me make that hole. You got to have a hole in there. I call it a bird nest. A little bit more, and that'll be 1 cup. All right. Now take your one hand, that's it, and you're going to push the grease and the buttermilk together for just a second or 2, and then you're going to start pulling in some flour with your hand. Let's get you over here a little bit closer where you can see a little bit better. You don't really need to see me, you just need to see down in that. There you go. How's that? Is that good? All right, so just squash these 2 together. You don't need to get it all on the top of your hand. It should be just on your fingers, and that's it. Now then, it's all kind of squashed together good, so I'm going to start pulling in some flour kind of quickly because you don't want to work it too long. And this is where I'm going to tell if I need a little bit more buttermilk. And I probably am, at least a half a cup more. See how my little circle's getting bigger, but the flour around it is completely dry. Let's put in another half a cup, just to make sure I have enough biscuits today. I want to make 25. If you don't want to make this many biscuits, all right, a little bit more, and that'll be okay. So total, I've got 1.5 cups of milk in here, of buttermilk, and that makes it taste really good. But let me say this, if you can't find buttermilk in your area, which a lot of people can't, you can use just a regular whole milk. I call it sweet milk. But you're not gonna put a whole 1.5 cups in there though, y'all, because sweet milk is not as thick as buttermilk. See how the buttermilk sticks to the side of your cup? It's just not as thick. All right, this is perfect. That 1.5 cups is perfect for just the amount of biscuits I'm going to make. Now, you're going to kind of feel a little bit to see if your dough is kind of getting a little bit on the firm side. Don't work it too long. The longer you work it, the tougher it gets. I'll pull in just a tad bit more flour. And that looks like it might be just ready. See there how it looks? See that? All right. Now clean your hands off like this. I've got my oven set on 500. You heard it go off, didn't you? Well, here's the reason you got it on 500. Or however high your oven will go. The faster you cook the biscuits, the tenderer and more moist they are. If you cook it on 350 or 400, it's going to take longer to cook them. Therefore, they're going to be a little bit drier than you would if you did it the higher temperature. I'm going to flour the top just a little so I can kind of pick it up. And I'm going to flour my surface a little bit. And I've already greased my pan. I've got me a can for a biscuit cutter. You take and flour your fingers and hands. Have them nice. You should see my floor when I get through making biscuits. It looks like a snowstorm occurred. That's what it looks like. All right, here's all my dough. I just got it out. And I am going to press it down a little bit. That looks good. Okay, now then I'm ready to really actually push it down to about a quarter of an inch. Not a quarter of an inch, a half of an inch thick. And if I have to make a few more to put on this pan, I will. You want about a half an inch. Try to make them all about the same, okay? So they cook the same. All right, that looks good. I always stick my cutter in my flour just a little bit and tap it to flour the sides. I push it down and I twist it a little bit. Now, some people don't twist theirs, but I do. So you do it like you want to. And here's your little biscuit. And I'm just putting them right here on this pan right next to me. Right there. Okay. Now, let me get going here. I hadn't got all morning. I got to get these things done. My pan right here, it'll hold 25 biscuits. I put 5 down and 5 across. And 5 times 5 is 25. Like I say, I don't know if I'll have 25, but it'll hold 25. My pan will. I am so proud of y'all because there are a lot of y'all who are actually making the biscuits and your husband is so excited he doesn't know what to do. I have had so many men say, "Oh, Miss Brenda, thank you so much for teaching my wife how to make biscuits. She's doing a great job." You've always heard that old saying, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Well, I actually believe that's true. I actually do. And sometimes you can say, well, the person I'm dating, her mama can't cook, and so I wonder if she can be cooking. If that mother is a good cook, more than likely the daughter is going to be a good cook too. Sometimes they're not, but a lot of times they are. All right, now here's what you do. See, I've not quite got it, but you take these little scrappies and just pull them up together like this, gently with your fingertips, and make you a little dough ball thing right here. Pat it back out, and continue cutting. And my oven is set, and I'm fixing to put them on in just a little bit. You don't want to make your biscuits until about maybe 30 minutes before you're going to cook them, because they don't need to just sit out for a whole long time. Okay, I need 3 more. I don't know if I can get it or not. We'll see. Or I could make one big old cat head biscuit. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm one short. I can take this little bitty one right here, and as everybody calls it, a baby biscuit. Here, and I'm going to put it right here in the corner. That way we won't waste anything. See that corner right there? So, this makes it 25. I did it pretty good, didn't I? I'll tell everybody this morning that's the baby biscuit. See how little it is? Oh my goodness. But that's all it is to it. Cook it on 500 degrees. And you go cook it somewhere between 8 and 12 minutes, according to how brown you want it and how your oven works. Everybody's oven is different. My mother used to make these in the morning. Here's how I clean my hands. I get this scrappy stuff and I just rub them and it all comes off. Daddy was a hunter, and he would kill squirrels and rabbits and bird and deer, and we ate all of that. And Mother, for breakfast, she would soak that meat overnight in salt water in the refrigerator. Then the next morning she'd get up and fry it with a top on it so it'd be so tender, and she'd make gravy and grits, gravy and grits. and she'd make a big old skillet of biscuits, and we would eat that squirrel and rabbit, and if it was feasible, if we had fresh tomatoes, you usually don't that time of year, but if you're, sometimes we'd have tomatoes. But she'd fix a big old pan of biscuits, and we'd put that gravy over it. It was so good. I remember those times. My mother was such a good cook. God rest her soul. See how it got it all off? Now I can go over there to the sink and actually wash it with soap, and I'll have it real, they'll be real flour free. All right, so all you do is take this skillet, put it in the oven about the middle shelf, have your oven already preheated to 500, and cook them until you like them. So now I'm going to put them in the oven. Okay, the biscuits are ready. This is how brown I like them. I like them like this. I don't like mine real hard on the top. I like them just barely crispy on the top. But here they are. You see our baby biscuit. And if you're taking these somewhere, like I'm fixing to take these to the Caudle House, when you wrap your biscuits up, I always leave mine on this hot pan, and I get a clean dish towel. And the reason I get a clean one is you want it to breathe through this. If you put aluminum foil on top of your biscuits, they will sweat. See, the steam can come up through this cloth and keeps them nice and fresh. Y'all make you some biscuits.